chesed yibane, yada da da da, yada da da. Olam chesed yibane, yada da da da, yada da da. Olam chesed yibane, yada da da da, yada da da. Olam chesed yibane, yada da da da, yada da da. I will build this world from love, yada da da da, yada da da. And you must build this world from love, yada da da da, yada da da. And if we build this world from love, yada da da da, yada da da, then God will build this world from love, yada da da da, yada da da. Olam chesed yibane, yada da da da, yada da da. Olam chesed yibane, yada da da da, yada da da. Olam chesed yibane, yada da da da, yada da da. Olam chesed yibane, yada da da da, yada da da. Here are my favorite words. Oh, yada da da da, yada da da. Feel free to sing along. Oh, yada da da da, yada da da. Oh, yada da da da, yada da da. Oh, yada da da da, yada da da. Shabbat shalom, everybody. It is wonderful to see you all. I want to let you know that we're going to be celebrating Shabbat together this evening in this wonderful medium. I will be announcing pages for the most part from Mishkan Tefillah. So if you have your own Siddur at home, that's the full Mishkan Tefillah, those will be the pages. And I will also share my screen for most of the pages that we end up using. Hey, you know what? It is an interesting month right now. If you would like to unmute yourselves, you can, so we can have a little bit of a chat. You can feel free to do that. And does anybody happen to know what this month is called right now? Just yell them out, but first you have to unmute yourself or I won't hear you.
Elul.
Elul, yes, it is Elul. It is the last month of the Jewish calendar. It's the month that we really are sort of getting ourselves ready for the high holidays, for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and then the other fall holidays that come, Sukkot and Simchat Torah, a lot of holidays, all in the same month of Tishrei. So while it's Elul, we are supposed to be waking up. We're supposed to wake up our souls and our hearts and our beings to be ready for the high holy days. And part of how we do that is we use a special instrument to wake ourselves up. Now, in our own homes, many of you may use, certainly if you're old like me, an alarm clock. Or if you're maybe just a tiny bit younger than me, you might use your phone. Or perhaps you have another way. Does anybody have a different way of waking themselves up or getting themselves up in the morning?
Cat.
Did someone say a cat?
Yes.
Yeah, your cat walking across you will get you up every day for sure. Yep, that's a great wake up pattern. Anybody else have some other way to wake up?
Dog barking.
Say that again.
Dog, a dog barking.
Your dog barking. So our animals get us up. Sometimes our kids or our parents get us up. But we need a way to wake up our spirit, which is different than waking up our body. We want to wake ourselves up and open up our hearts. And the way that we do that is with a special instrument that comes from a ram. It's a ram's horn. I wonder if any of our younger people might know what that instrument is called. You'll have to unmute if Michelle, if your kids happen to know what this instrument is called.
They're
Any
not going to
ideas?
talk.
What was that?
They're not going to talk.
That's okay. They don't have to. So that instrument is a shofar. Mine is still in the living room where I was using it earlier today. But I would like to share with you. So as some of you may know, we've been having these shofar blowings. And I'm going to see if I can open this up to share it with you. So usually during these days of Elul, we blow the shofar just one toot each day, just a big tekiah. And so I'm going to invite you. Let me just share my screen. Hopefully you've got it. And so can everyone unmute yourselves for a second and then yell out tekiah. Ready? Everybody unmuted that wants to be? Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Kia.
All right, here it is. There you go. There's your tekiah for today. So we will have, on Sunday, we'll gather again to have one more in-person listen to all of the shofar blows. But I did want to share that one big tekiah with you before Shabbat. It turns out that when you blow the shofar over Zoom, it doesn't sound that great because the sound gets all compressed. But hopefully the recording worked for you. So a couple things before we really jump in full with all of our feet. Hold on a second. I have so many things I'm juggling today. Okay, here we go. So a couple things. First of all, please don't forget to sing loud and proud and strong throughout the service, particularly if your mic is muted. Even more so, you should be singing with all of your heart. Sing loud enough so that I can hear you even with your mic muted. Put all the energy into what you want. I know, unfortunately, some of our adults have gotten messages when they were kids about their singing voices, which were almost certainly untrue messages because everybody can sing. So please do not hesitate to sing with all of your heart. And if you don't know the words to a song, words that are considered very, very holy are la, 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 and very, very holy words. We are going to, I'm really happy that we're together, even in our apartness. And so I am going to ask us to sing one more song together, and that is Hine Ma Tov. Here we go. Let's sing together, top of the page. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. How wonderful it is to be together. We are now going to go to lighting our candles. If you have candles at your home, you can certainly light them with me. And let's see, I want to make sure that you can see the candles. There they are. And we say the blessing as we light. First we actually light, and then we bless, and then we cover the candles after we light them so that we can't see them while we're blessing them, and then, like magic, they're lit when we're finished saying the blessing. Okay, here we go. We welcome in Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. And there they are. So, there we've got our candles. It feels truly like Shabbat. As we come into Shabbat, I would like to invite you to feel the taste of Shabbat, that special internal, external sense of peace and wholeness that is Shabbat. And so I would like to invite you to take a moment to take a deep breath in and let it out. And one more nice deep breath in and let it out. And if you'd like, you can close your eyes. If you wish to turn off your video, you may, but don't feel obligated to do so. And let's just take a moment to breathe into Shabbat, to breathe into the week that's just passed, that is now behind us. We don't have to take it with us. And now we're just going to focus on the moment that we're in, the peace and the stillness and the calm of Shabbat. Let's just take a moment to be present with ourselves, or if we happen to be with family or our cat or someone else who we love, we can certainly feel that sense of connection with them too as we breathe our way into Shabbat. What a beautiful moment to have that stillness when we spend so much of our lives running around and being busy, and now to just have that sense of calm as we move into Shabbat. Our priorities shift, our energy shifts. It's so beautiful to be with all of you. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you had a nice chat with whoever was in your room. We are going to move to back to our service, and we're going to begin on page 125. I'm going to share this reading with you, and you can read aloud if you like. Oh, let me just share my screen. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished, will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time. Contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat, abide. We welcome in Shabbat with the words from Lecha Dodi on page 138, which I hope to bring us to. Let's sing together. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, hishmianu el hamichad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. We're going to the last verse. Bohi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha uvetzola, toch emunei am segula. Bohi chala, Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. And now we will sing the Chatzi Kaddish to bring us into the regular prayers. Yitkada v'yitkada shemei rabba, Be'alma tivrach yurtei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon u'v'yomechon, Uv'chayedecho Beit Yisrael, Bagala, Bagala, Uv'izman kariv, Ve'imru amen, Yehei shmei rabba mevorach, Le'alam lo me'amaya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach v'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, V'yitadar v'yitala v'yitala, Shemei dekudsha b'richu, Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, Da'amiran be'alma, Ve'imru Amen. As we come together, we think about our closeness to God, about being closer to God, and so I offer you this reading. O God, you are as near as the very air we breathe, yet farther than the farthermost star. We yearn to reach you. We seek the light and warmth of your presence. Though we say you are near, We are lonely and alone. Oh, let our desire be so strong that it will tear the veil that keeps you from our sight. Let your light release our darkness and reveal the glory and joy of your presence. We consider the words of Shema, the words that are considered the watchword of our faith, as we sing together the words of Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. We are meant to meditate on these words every day. Here we have the text of Ve'ahavta, which reminds us of all the points in our day and in our journey that we are meant to think of God's oneness. Let's chant together. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'otecha v'hayu הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. As darkness falls, we ask that God protect us through the darkness, through the nighttime, until we come out into the next day, into the morning, with the words of Hashkivenu. Let's read these words together at the bottom of the page. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Before we come to the Amidah, the standing prayer, we sing one more song for Shabbat, and that is Vishamru at the top of this page. It's certainly one of my favorite things to sing on Shabbat. I hope it is one of yours as well. Let's sing together. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Ordinarily, our next part of the service is the Amidah, the standing prayer. And this evening, instead of saying the standing prayer aloud, I'm going to invite us to each take a few moments to think of our own private prayers, whatever they might be. I'm going to start us off with the meditation that brings us into the Amidah, which you can sing along if you know, and then I invite you to just think of whatever prayers you might have in your heart that you might want to share, whatever meditations you have, whatever things you would like to focus on this Shabbat, on this special day, as we come together in quiet meditation. Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Ihiu leratzon imre fi, והגיון ליבי לפניך. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Pekohali, Pekohali. Our thoughts turn to those who are struggling with challenges of the body or mind or spirit, and we offer a prayer for healing, the Misha Berach prayer. I'm just looking for my Misha Berach list, and I apologize. In our own community, we think of those who need healing: Leslie Baskin, Karen Force, David Gilmore, John Patrick Gilmore, Leslie Gregg, Sandy Klein, Jane Main, Lola Miller, Helen Smith, Marisa Sudal, Jonathan Vlamis, Janie Weissman, Elliot Yaffa, and Elisheva Bat Bebet. If there's someone you are thinking of, I invite you to put their names in the chat so that we can include their names as we send our healing energy out to them. In the meantime, I will share my screen with you for the Mishaberach prayer, and we can sing together. As you are entering your names, I would also thank you for adding your names. We also ask for healing and strength for those who are impacted by police brutality, gun violence, and acts of racism and hate around our country. Recent natural and man-made disasters, particularly to all of those on our western coast, as well as to the families who remain stranded or separated at our borders. We think too of the millions presently infected with COVID-19 and pray for their complete recovery and a speedy end to this terrible plague. Let us sing Mishaberach together. Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Laimotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. We have a couple of special things happening this evening, in addition to our board installation. It's also the beginning of the autumn in just a few days, and so we'll have a couple of very short ceremonies after we have our little learning together. For the learning together this evening, I have been thinking about the high holidays, and the kinds of messages I usually give at the high holidays really are often a sort of call to action. There's something I'm asking you to do, some way that I'm inviting you to examine your behavior, to change, to grow, to try to figure out how to be a better person in this next year. In this very strange time that we are occupying, my messages will be more focused on messages of hope and renewal and resilience, since it feels like more than ever that is what we need. But I wanted to share with you something, a reading that I had shared with some folks who came to tea and teshuvah with me, and it talks about returning to our authentic selves, right? So teshuvah, this idea at the high holidays of we usually interpret this as repentance. We're going to repent, which is a big word. It's hard for us to really understand what that means. But teshuvah comes from the root lashuv, to return. We're meant to return to our most authentic selves, our best selves, and figure out how to kind of remove whatever is blocking our path forward. So here's this beautiful reading. Let me share this with you. The first thing people do when restoring old chairs is strip. Strip right down to the bare wood. They do this to see what the original might have looked like and to determine if the thing is worth doing over. They strip away all the years of grime, the garish coats of paint piled one on top of the other. They get rid of all the junk that's been tacked on through the years to try to find the simple, solid thing that's underneath. I am like an old chair, needing that stripping process. Every now and then, I have to take a really hard look at the illusions I've built up in myself and see what I've gotten myself into. Illusions? Yes, illusions. The excess baggage I carry around, the unnecessary, all that keeps me living off-center too long. Stripping myself of all of this is an intentional letting go of those illusions. It is a spiritual act of personal forgiveness. God lets us let go. So my invitation to you is to think about a way that you might want to explore coming back to your most authentic self. What is it that has become sort of an extra layer or an extra thing or an extra something that's blocking you from being your most authentic self? Now I need to change some hosting privileges so that Spencer can actually send us to our new breakout remote. He's a co-host, but I need to make him a host. And yet I cannot. Oh, Spencer is the host now. Awesome. Thank you to my children who are doing an amazing job. So I'm going to invite you. You're going to be sent out to another Zoom breakout room to share with a partner what is something that you are going to try to uncover or get rid of or somehow do to get back to your most authentic self. And since that might be a very personal question, if that feels a little too revealing to you, then instead, when you're in your breakout rooms, you can share something that you are planning to do to celebrate this new year that feels like it's in slightly weird times. So off you go to your breakout rooms, and I will see you in about 3 or 4 minutes. Welcome back. Well, I hope that your conversations were meaningful. Probably they were a little too short, but I'm glad to have you back. Let us install our board. I am very excited to have this wonderful board at the helm of our leadership. The members of our congregation have selected new officers who will lead us through this year ahead, and I would like to take a moment to reflect upon the importance of their leadership and to reaffirm our basic commitment to tefillah and prayer and study and ma'asim tovim, good deeds. And one of the things that we learned about leadership is it is never automatic. And in fact, our tradition records that in ancient times, Rabbi Asi, as he was at the end of his life, his nephew saw that he was weeping and he said, "Uncle, why do you weep? Could there be any part of our tradition that you haven't studied or taught? Your disciples are sitting here with you. Could there be any act of loving kindness you have not done? I hardly think so. And over and above all your qualities, you have never intruded into community affairs. You have never tried to become appointed to an office administering to the needs of the community." And Rabbi Asi said, "Well, that is why I weep. Perhaps I shall be condemned because I was able to lead, but I chose not to." I would like to recognize the leaders who've chosen to serve our sacred community. Our continuing board members are Robin Frisch and Lori Joslin, Karen Lipshires, Harriet Snyder, Michelle Vlamis, and Viveka Prakash Zawiza. And our new board members are Evan Torlin and Bethany Bellingham. Welcome. And I would also want to recognize those who chair committees or have done substantial work that sustains our committee, particularly Frank Baskin and Jill Barry and Sue Corneliuson. And I would especially like to offer our gratitude to Phoebe Rand, who has completed her term of service And I pray that you will continue to sustain and to be sustained by our community. I can't imagine Phoebe actually being completely out of the loop on things, since she is such an integral part of our community and is in many ways the walking, talking institutional memory of Temvi, for which we are deeply grateful. I also want to particularly acknowledge the substantial energy and focus that's been required of our leaders during this pandemic 6 months so far, and thank them for their vision and their unusually generous gifts of time and energy and devotion as we begin a new journey together toward what we hope will be a brighter and a healthy future. Karen has a reading that I would ask that she share with us.
May the door of the synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of the synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May the synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
Thank you so much. What does Adonai require of us? To revere, to love, to serve with all our heart and soul, and to keep the commandments and statutes of Adonai. And so I would offer this Mishaberach on all of our leaders. Mishaberach Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, our God and God of our ancestors. Bless the leaders of our congregation with wisdom, vigor, and understanding. Sustain them with your spirit, Adonai. Grant that their labors be a blessing and a source of blessing, and let us all say together, Amen. And in this moment of new beginnings, I would invite you all to unmute to say the words of Shehechianu together. May the one who blessed us and kept us life and sustained us continue to keep us alive for this holy moment and many going forward. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'yamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Thank you. That was so beautiful. So I think about that sound of everybody speaking at the same time, and I've come to think of it as the holy cacophony. Sacred cacophony. It sounds a little wonky because we're not together, but I kind of love that we still feel like we're able to pray together in these strange moments. All right, the last sort of special thing in our service tonight is that we are coming into the fall, the autumn, and we have our sunwheel service. So I would ask any of those of you who have a birthday in the fall, in the autumn, or a wedding anniversary, or some other important milestone that occurs for you in the fall, can you share with us what it is? Unmute yourself to let us know.
My birthday. I get to fast on my birthday.
Mazel tov! I hope you're going to break your fast with something truly delicious like a birthday cake.
There you go.
Anybody else have a birthday or, yeah, Bethany?
I have a wedding anniversary in late October.
Oh, how many years?
11.
May you know many, many, many more. That's wonderful. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Anybody else with birthdays or anniversaries or special dates? Yeah, Karen.
Cindy and I met 19 years ago, the end of October.
Ah, so sweet. Wow. Happy 19.
Yesterday would have been Lola's 70th anniversary.
Oh, how sweet.
Yeah.
Well, happy anniversary.
Yeah.
You talked about you and Cindy met at the end of October. David and I had a blind date on Halloween.
Nice.
Perfect.
So
Lovely.
I think that was 50 years ago.
Wow.
Was that New Orleans?
No, Boston.
Oh, in Boston. Okay.
Were you in costume, Linda?
No,
Was David?
no, no, it just happened to be a Halloween date. That's it.
I
But we
love
didn't go trick or treating. So
That's so sweet. All right, I'm going to see if I can.
My birthday is in December.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to see if I can. Sometimes this works. All right, so first of all, here is our sun wheel. Let me, oops, did I share it? Nope, I sure didn't. Okay. Dum, 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 dum. Ta-da! It's the sun wheel. So everybody who has a celebration, feel free to move your hands along the sun wheel and help the sun wheel spin. Give it a spin for your birthday or your anniversary or whatever you are celebrating.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
well, that was clever doing that.
Very clever.
You like that?
Yeah, with the chairs. Yeah.
Yeah, what you can't see there is that Joe, who many of you know and have met, and is a rather tiny human being, is actually behind the sun wheel, curled up into a little ball, holding onto the other end of the pole so it doesn't fall off the chairs. So my invisible child is behind and my other child is filming.
That's great.
Welcome to being the clergy children. So there's our sun wheel. I hope that these beautiful colors bring bright and joyous moments into your celebrations, your birthdays and your anniversaries and all of your special moments going forward. I look forward to the day when we can spin the sun wheel in person. It's sad that it will not be this season, but hopefully not too many seasons from now. Thank you, my friends, for your indulgence. Oh yes, I had a little reading here that I almost forgot. So autumn, this is our autumn sunwheel. It is the time of harvest, of appreciating the bounty of the earth. It is also the time of teshuvah, the time of returning, and as we celebrate the Jewish New Year and Days of Awe, as the trees and plants begin to contract and turn into themselves and back into the earth in preparation for winter's long sleep, we too direct our focus inward, examining our souls and preparing for new growth. May we each be renewed and invigorated this season. May those who are experiencing transitions find comfort and joy in the memory of that which they are leaving and energy and resolve for that which is just beginning. Thank you, everybody, for celebrating the autumn with me and our sun wheel. Do we have any announcements to share? I don't think that we do beyond all of the high holiday stuff, which is nearly upon us. Robin or Karen, do you have anything to share?
Now we're looking forward to seeing everybody on Sunday for the shofar blowing and the food drive. So please, the temple at noon, I believe. Everybody can come.
Yep. Great. Thank you. So yes, that is Sunday at noon at the temple, and of course, there's a religious school gathering at 10, I believe, on Sunday. That will be with me and Dasha, our new religious school director, with some songs and stories and fun stuff to do together. And that will probably only go for about an hour, and then there'll be the gathering at the temple at noon.
Is the gathering at temple weather permitting?
That's what I was just going to bring up. Yeah, it's
Oh, are we
supposed to rain on Sunday. Yeah.
It is?
Well, not until
Yeah.
later on Sunday. And
Okay.
I think that I don't think the weather's going to be a problem.
Okay.
Okay. But if it is, I would guess we would let people know by email, or
Well, people
there's a
can
change
sit in
in
their
plans.
cars and hear the shofar blown. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but I think we should be fine and able to do all the business that needs to be tended to.
Okay.
So if you don't get to the temple on Sunday and you want to bring bags of food to the food bank, just get a hold of me, and we can set up a time when I can pick up your bag or you can drop it off.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Frank, for organizing that. Okay, the last piece of our service that we will turn to in just a moment is the Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish. This week we remember those whose anniversaries fall at this time: Berta Meyer, David Snyder, Arnold Cantor, and Charles Nelson. If there's somebody who you are remembering, then I invite you to please share their name in the chat box, or if you wish, you may speak their name aloud.
John Lauby.
Thank you.
She said it.
Okay. Let us turn to the mourner's Kaddish. I will share my screen with you so that you can easily see the text as we remember all of those who came before us. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabah ve'almad vrach yirutei v'yamli malchutei v'chayechom yomecha v'chayei techol beit Yisrael v'agala u'man pari v'imru amen.
Amen.
Yehei shmei rabah mevarach le'alam u'la'amei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitleseh v'yithadar v'yithalel v'yithalal shemei dekudsha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbichata v'nechemata ta'amiran ve'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Amen.
Oseh
Aseh
shalom
shalom
v'imrav
b'mramav.
hu
Huya
ya'aseh
say
shalom
shalom.
aleinu
Aleinu
v'al
v'kol
Yisrael
Yisrael.
v'imru amen.
Amen.
May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort all who are bereaved, and let us say together,
Amen.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We are going to say Kiddush together. If you have your grape juice or wine with you, that would be great. I'm going to grab mine. Here it is. We're going to do the short Kiddush tonight, so just one line. Anybody else got some wine or grape juice or something delicious to drink? You can grab it if you like, and we'll say the blessing together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari hagafen l'chaim. Here, let's cheer. Right to the cheer. Cheers. And lastly, as we welcome in Shabbat, I keep meaning to make a challah. Who here during the pandemic or during quarantine has taken up baking? Anybody? Oh yeah, Bethany has. Okay, anyone else? I actually made it my business to get some yeast so I could make challah back in April. I
got yeast.
I've got yeast. I just haven't made any challah. I keep looking at it going, oh yes, I should make some challah. Wow, that's a lot of work. Never mind. So here's my whole wheat bread instead. As some of you may know, it is our tradition to put our finger on the challah, before the pandemic. And so here's my challah. Feel free to touch the challah. Yeah, there you go. As we all are connected to the bread that we are going to say a blessing for. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz v'te'ahon. Harriet, that is a beautiful challah.
We can't hear you, Harriet.
Okay. My friends, this concludes our Shabbat service. It is so fabulous to see you all together. I'm going to leave the Zoom open so that if you guys would like to visit with one another, you may do so. So don't forget to unmute yourselves so that you can greet one another, because otherwise we can't hear you. Vieira family, we are so happy to have you joining us this evening. Hello, hello. Very exciting to have new folks.
They're muted. Yeah.
Yep, they can unmute. I have every confidence that they know. Hey, there they go.
Hey, there we are.
Hello. Hello. So fabulous. So Vieras, tell us who you are. We have Michelle.
Yeah, I'm Michelle. This is Harrison.
Hi.
Hey.
Damon.
This is Logan.
She's trying to pick up the cat, but he doesn't.
Logan's not into it, huh?
No.
So, I'm sorry, what is her name?
Juliet.
Juliet. And
And-
how old is Juliet?
Juliet is 7.
7. And Harrison's going into the 4th grade, so he's
How old are you?
11?
9.
9. Okay. I'm not good at doing kids' ages anymore. My baby is 39.
Yeah. I'm not in a rush for sure.
Nope, it goes
Very
quick
fast.
enough.
Yes, it does.
It does. It goes way fast. So enjoy it.
Thanks.
I'm leaving the Zoom open, you all, but I'm going to step out. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I cannot wait to
Shabbat
see you all,
Shalom.
hopefully next week for Rosh Hashanah.
We'll see you
Rabbi,
guys.
thank you for a lovely
Shabbat Shabbat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for a
Thank you
beautiful
for service.
service.
My pleasure. See you soon.